All right, Mike.
We'll talk a little Cavs here, guys.
Mm-hmm.
And as we are approaching the 2-week mark of the offseason, there are still moves to be made, but we figured right now, we've seen a bunch of different NBA tier rankings come out. I want to put a little spin on this. I look at tiers in a different way because this is not a ranking of 1 through 32. This is a ranking of where do you fit in the power structure of the NBA right now. And I'm going to run through my tiers, and you guys tell me if A, you agree with where the Cavs are placed, and then B, are any of these teams way off from where they should be. So instead of just doing tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, tier 4, tier 5,
You
I
have
had a
names
little bit
for
of
these
a
tiers?
Yes, I do.
Right.
I thought of this in a little different way. Before
All
we
right,
take
go
any of
ahead.
these graphics, let me explain it to you. The NBA is essentially a nightclub, an exclusive VIP nightclub.
Mm-hmm.
And if you want to be a true championship contender, that's getting into the nightclub. The nightclub, or whatever kind of club you want to envision it as, is the VIP exclusive group of teams that have reached the level of notoriety, indoor, overall good roster construction, front office, coaching staff, et cetera, to be in that exclusive category. If you're on the fringe, you're in line trying to get into the club. There are a few teams that have tried to get in and then got bounced. The bouncer said, no, you don't have the prerequisite information to actually get into the club. Then there's some teams that are in the Uber heading to the club. And those are the teams on the up and up but may not be in that next tier category.
Jeez.
Then there's the in limbo where you're arguing with your friends, do we go out or do we stay in? Those are the teams that are kind of stuck in the middle. And then there are the teams that are stuck at home and decided not to go out, and those are the teams that have no future and are essentially tanking. So we're going to run through it. It's a little easier to see. Anthony made some cool graphics for this.
Okay.
Tier 1, these are the championship contender teams. These are the teams who have made it into Club McNuggets.
All right.
And there's 6 teams.
I mean, what a cool name for a club, Club McNuggets.
I know, right? You have the reigning champs, the Boston Celtics. You have the Minnesota Timberwolves.
That looks like the funky
Dallas
Buddha
Mavericks,
from back in the day.
the Thunder, and the Knicks. 6 teams, I believe, today, and this could all change with varying moves, but today, the 6 teams who have earned the right to be in Club McNuggets, the championship contender tier, are these 6.
That's interesting because there's one missing that I
Where's-
thought would be in there.
Where's Philadelphia at?
That's not the
I'll
one I
get
was
to
thinking
Philadelphia in
And,
one
and
sec.
3 of those teams have never gotten past the semifinals.
Doesn't mean they shouldn't be in the conversation.
All right.
So, G, you said the 76ers are missing. I'll explain them in a sec. Jason, who do you think is missing?
of. The Bucks.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Okay, well, guess what? Those 2 teams are 2 of the 3 teams in line to get into the club. With, Steve, take the next graphic, your Cleveland Cavaliers. There's Bouncer Earl making sure no teams get in that aren't supposed to get in yet. I refuse to put the 76ers in a true championship contender category until Joel Embiid proves anything in the playoffs. He
I'm
can't
with
stay
you there.
healthy.
I'm not a Philly fan.
I'm not.
I've never been a Philly
You have
fan.
2 of the worst
Minnesota, the Knicks, and
That's harsh.
what have they proven in the playoffs?
That's harsh.
Beyond the first round.
Joel Embiid has literally never played in an Eastern Conference Finals. He can't stay healthy.
So neither is Minnesota.
Minnesota was
Neither
there
is
this year.
Oklahoma. Oh, Minnesota got to the Western Conference Finals.
Yeah,
Sorry.
and Oklahoma City was the best team in the West. And they
But
had
Oklahoma
arguably
City,
the
what have they
second-best
done?
offseason.
OKC is.
That's
I
but
like
they haven't
them a
proven
lot.
anything.
I'm not saying you got to prove it. I'm
And
saying
the
this is
Knicks
my,
haven't
this is-
proven anything.
This is
They haven't
my
got
tiers.
past- they
These are
won-
my tiers. I'm not putting the 76ers.
These
with
is
Joel
my
Embiid till he
list.
proves anything.
Hey,
The Bucks have won a championship. The
Right.
Knicks have only won first-round series. That's ridiculous.
Bull, if we're looking at championships, the Warriors, who won it 2 years ago, more recently, the Bucks should be in that line too by that logic. And guess what? They're in a way lower tier.
No, Giannis is it is prime. Steph Curry's not in his prime. That's a big difference.
They're in line trying to get in. They have to prove something before I want to put them in the category at the best.
Let me give you this. His list blows up.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. I don't like when we do this.
Yeah.
We like to assume that injuries are only waivable by us in our team. We'll say, oh, well, we were hurt last year. Jared Allen was hurt last
Right.
year, so, we got to
But
put
the
us.
Bucks don't get a pass.
They don't get that pass.
Yeah.
Like, if Giannis and Embiid show up and they don't get hurt, you're in trouble. Like, those teams are definitely in the
I
mix.
just don't.
They're in line. That
I don't
means they
understand
can
why the
clearly
Bucks
get
have
in.
something to prove, but the Knicks don't. I don't understand that.
Right now, if you were to ask me who has a better chance to win the championship this year, the Knicks are a better team than the Milwaukee Bucks.
You may be right. However, that's not what you said. You said one team has something to prove, the other team.
I wouldn't necessarily.
I didn't say something to prove.
I wouldn't necessarily take any. I like the teams you have in the club. I wouldn't take any of them out. I think the Knicks do belong there. I would just add the Bucks to that. I do think the Bucks should be in that room.
Fair enough. That's why we're going to go back and forth
All
on
right.
where these rank. So those are the 3 teams I have, including the Cavs, by the way. It was the Cavs. Steve,
Yeah.
go back one more. Go back up to the teams in line. The Cavs, the Sixers, and the Bucks. So those are the 3 teams I think could very easily, if things go right, make their way into the championship conversation.
Can I ask you a question?
I'm just not ready to put them there yet. Shoot. What's up, Jay?
Are the Cavs third amongst those 3 teams?
These are not in any particular order, but in the case of this, yes, I do think they are behind Milwaukee. and
I don't think they
Philadelphia right
belong
now.
in the same group with those other 2 teams.
What's interesting, can you go back to the first? I think we should have started this at the bottom and worked up.
Sure should have.
Rather than start
Dang
at the
it,
top
you're
and
right.
work
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
You want to
drop
stop
it.
and then go from the
Yep.
bottom up now?
Well,
No,
we've
too
already
late.
seen the ending of the movie.
Too
You
late.
can't go back and watch the start.
All right, let's go to Group 3.
But no, I want to
Yeah.
see Group 1 again real quick. I just want to point something out. So, okay, so we got Boston and the Knicks from the East. And then when you go to Group 2, you got Milwaukee and Philly. So in Mike's mind, the Cavs are no better than 5th without home court advantage in the first round.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I
Wah, wah.
Whoa, Memer! I don't like this. List.
No, we still got to play out the year. Who knows
Yeah.
how it's going to go?
This is right now. This is before moves. You
Yeah.
know, this could change if the Cavs make a trade, if
Sure.
But
other
the-
things happen. But this is just right now.
The West is funny though because if you look at the West teams, I would not be surprised if you said either Dallas or Minnesota lost in the first round next year.
Shouldn't Sacramento be on that second group?
Like they
So
could
here's-
lose.
Let's go to the next group because the
Yeah.
next group includes Sacramento. The next group is teams that got into line and then got denied. You tried to go for it, but even with the moves you've made, you are not in a position to actually compete for a championship.
That sounds like the Cavs,
Yeah,
don't
exactly.
This is the Kings, the Suns, and the Lakers.
Oh, I like that. I like that bouncer. That's a good-looking bouncer.
it? Yep.
He looks angry. He's an angry elf.
Yeah.
I don't understand this list.
Those
The
are my-
Kings are a legit team on the
Yeah,
rise.
yeah,
The Lakers
yeah.
are Suns suck.
You think the Kings are a legit team on the rise?
Aren't they?
Those are my real arms.
Does
Listen,
DeMar DeRozan make them that much better?
I mean, yesterday, you guys, or 2 days ago, were talking about a bunch of slappies that would make the Cavs better. But DeMar DeRozan, didn't DeMar DeRozan score 23 points a game last year?
I mean, I just think that roster is completely flawed to begin with. They don't have any shooting. Their 3 best players don't shoot threes.
don't they got Keegan Murray? I'd love to have Keegan Murray. Don't they still have him?
Yeah, he's not one of the 3 best players, though.
All right.
Well, that means they're pretty good. If a player I want, he's not even their best 3. They got Sabonis, they got De'Aaron
Listen, I
Fox,
think
they got
been
DeMar
trying to make
DeRozan.
moves to establish themselves. I would just be
You're not
shocked
buying what they're
beyond
selling.
belief if the Kings. Yeah, exactly. I'm not buying what they're selling.
I just feel like the Suns and Lakers are old teams. They're uninteresting teams. At least, I know DeMar DeRozan is old, but he's not their
that's the
best
whole
player.
point. They are trying to get in, and Jason.
The
DeRozan
said,
Lakers
"No,
and
you're
Suns
not
are
in the same
completely
category."
uninteresting teams that I would never want to watch play.
You don't want to watch LeBron play. You don't want to watch Kevin Durant play.
I'm done
Devin
with
Booker?
them. I'm bored by them.
Bradley
They're old
Beal's
news.
boring. I give you that.
They're old news. I'm not interested in watching LeBron unless he's back on the Cavs. LeBron on Lakers is boring. He doesn't care about winning anymore, so why should I watch him?
Jason, what do you respond to that with?
About
Is
I'll
LeBron being boring?
always watch LeBron because the day's going to come when he's not out there anymore, and that'll be a sad day. So
I think the Kings can beat. I think the Kings can compete with Oklahoma City or
no, they cannot compete with Oklahoma
Yeah,
City.
you guys are way overrated.
Well, I didn't say that.
Way overrated.
Well, listen,
Oklahoma City is a problem. They are going.
Don't they have to
be-
prove something
they got.
first?
Hey, I ain't
But
seen
I'm
it.
just telling you, they've got 150 picks coming.
Yeah.
They're a team of young,
They got
athletic,
picks.
switchy guys.
They got Williams.
They
I
are
like
the
them.
prototypical team for how you play in the NBA.
I
Like,
like
they're
them.
young.
You're
they're cheap.
crowning their ass before they've done anything.
Who they lose to
I'm
last
just
year?
telling you. I'm just
Who they
waiting.
lose to? I don't remember. Minnesota?
They
Dallas?
lost to Dallas. And that's because P.J. Walker, that was the series that they made every corner 3.
Dallas is going to go backwards, by the way.
I
Remember I
told-
said it first.
Dallas, I
said
only put in the tier they're in because they were in the finals last year.
You know there's no chance that Kyrie stays healthy
G.
2
Bush
years in a row.
just
No
literally said 5 stanzas ago
Yeah.
that Dallas could lose and Minnesota
Yeah.
could lose in the first round.
I agree.
I don't, listen, the West is going to be a gauntlet. Matchups are totally dependent
And
on
again,
the
to
success
the-
of these teams.
To that point, parity is here in the NBA.
That's
It
a good
is
thing.
here.
That is good.
Okay, I don't disagree, but then don't bitch about the NBA Finals being uninteresting because that's what parity gives you.
Yeah.
You know what
it
I mean?
does.
You can't have it both
Yeah.
ways.
People said it was a trash NBA Finals.
The Finals was uninteresting because it was a domination by Boston.
Well, the Finals were uninteresting. People were complaining going into it that it wasn't these sexy teams.
I ain't watching that.
But that's what you get with parity. The difference with the NFL is a marketing machine and everybody loves football.
Yeah.
So parity's fine there. You know, they love it. But in the NBA, it is a star-driven league, and the league has gone out of its way to break up the stars, which is fine. It levels the playing field for everybody, and that's great. But then don't come around and bitch that you don't like the matchups, or the matchups are uninteresting. In the
I
finals.
thought the matchup was fine. It just turned out to be a bad series because Dallas couldn't compete and Kyrie played like a
There's
dog.
a lot of people who are not interested in watching that.
That's true. All right, Mike.
Okay, tier
I don't like
four
your tears
is-
at all. I'm anti your tears.
I love when you and me disagree, Balls. Nothing's better than proving you wrong when we're talking basketball. It brings a big smile to my face.
Go ahead.
Tier
Warms
four
your
is
cockles.
in the Uber to the club. So teams on the way up, but I don't think they're in that same category yet. And that includes the Memphis Grizzlies, the New Orleans Pelicans, the Rockets, who I'm buying stock in this year, the Pacers and the Magic. And you can tell me the Pacers should be a tier higher. And I'll tell you, I think they got extremely lucky with injury history in the postseason last year.
In a way, this is a better tier than tier 3. Like, you think more highly of these teams. Than
No,
these
that's
teams.
why I said it's not a direct ranking. It's not a direct
right.
ranking. This is just the more category.
Who's driving that car, by the way?
Scott.
Hopefully not Ali Gordon, the Oklahoma State running back, or Mike Gundy.
Dang, bro.
Mike Gundy
What a
wears it.
line.
Is that a wig that Mike Gundy
No,
wears?
it's his real hair, but what an idiot.
Are you sure it's his real hair?
Yeah, I've seen him in person a couple of times.
You're
What an
saying
idiot.
what an idiot, like we haven't known he's an idiot for years.
No, I know, but what he said yesterday was so stupid.
What did he say? I don't even know what he said about the DU. About the kid.
He's like, oh, everyone's done it before. It's not that big of a deal.
He said he didn't suspend the guy because he's done that 1,000 times.
Yeah, what an idiot.
I mean, a lot of people have done it, to be fair.
I mean,
it's stupid for him to say that.
He should have just been like, hey, man, listen, he's the best player on my team. I'm not suspending him for nothing. Like, because that's basically what he meant.
It's professional sports. I don't care if he suspends him. Why
right,
would you suspend the guy you don't have to?
Pull that list back up. Get back
Go
on
ahead, Mike.
topic.
I like that list. I think this is a good
That's
one.
a hodgepodge. It's weird. Like I like Orlando way more than I like Indiana.
I do too.
But once again, real quick, G, this is not – if I wanted to go like 1 through 32, I don't think they're next to each other. But in the we're trying to improve but not there yet category,
Yeah.
I think they kind of fit into the same
Memphis
realm
is
like that.
weird because they were like,
top of the tier.
yeah,
top of the
not that
food.
long ago. And then Josh sort of unraveled that whole thing.
The Pelicans, they're kind of stuck in the mud a little bit.
I'm not a big New Orleans fan.
Yeah, this kind of feels more like a stuck in the mud group, except for Orlando.
Yeah.
No, Houston's not stuck in the mud.
All right, maybe
Houston's on the way up.
And I think Houston needs to
On
be
the
on
way
the way
up.
to the. I think Houston needs to be like, is we going out? Are we going out tonight?
They're in the Uber. That's
Like,
the whole
they're in
point.
the Uber. All right,
Going out.
next group.
The next group is we're arguing should we go out or not, which is essentially the we don't know what the hell we're doing group, which is the Atlanta Hawks, the Golden State Warriors, the Miami Heat, and the Los Angeles Clippers. Are we in? Are we out? And this is Anthony arguing with Anthony.
The only thing I don't disagree. The only beef I have with this is Miami and Golden State are well-run organizations. The Clippers and Atlanta are not. And so for some reason I feel like they need to be separate, but
I think the Clippers, I like their leadership.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. I like it a lot.
But are they going for it right now? They just let Paul George walk.
Yeah, I didn't understand that move. Really, like, you hear Paul George talk about it. It came down to like
They wouldn't give him a fourth
money.
year.
They wouldn't give him like the extra. And I'm like, well, dude, you moved heaven and hell to get Paul George and Kawhi Leonard there, and then after Kawhi Leonard was hurt most of the time, you're blowing it up. Like I thought they had to go all in and double down on that. Like I don't know why they let him walk.
all right, in the final
And
tier.
the last tier, and the Spurs don't belong in this tier, but they also didn't belong anywhere else. This is the we're staying at home, we suck tier, which is the Spurs who don't really belong, but they didn't fit anywhere else. The Blazers, the Jazz, the Bulls, the Pistons, the Warriors, the Nets, the Raptors, and the Hornets, which is not a lot of debate here. They all suck.
Is anybody else besides the Spurs? Could you have created another category with the Spurs and one of these other teams? Like
No, the Spurs are – I mean, the Jazz have assets.
the Bulls are just a nothing organization. The Bulls and Pistons, once great organizations, are nothing.
Couldn't you argue the Spurs should be 2 up
In the Uber,
with
but
Orlando?
they're not like even if
They're
they
too
hit
far
all
away?
their things, I still think they're just too far away to be
nah.
in the Uber.
I think Wemby puts them in the Uber.
I think Wemby put them in an Uber, and I liked them better than Houston. I like their
You think
parts.
they're better than Houston?
Yes.
Interesting.
But
Interesting.
they're far. They
I just think they're further away.
yeah. I'm
Fair.
with you. I would have put them almost in their own category.
I just don't think
put
they
in the
belong
note
here.
to Anthony with this. The Spurs are at the top of the list. If there's some way to represent their leaving home, do it. If not, don't worry about it. So yeah.
Can I see that one more time? I just want to see that one more time.
The bottom one.
Yeah, the
Steve,
bottom
let's
one.
take the last one again.
Spurs
So,
the Spurs have walked out the door, maybe,
Yeah, exactly.
while the other teams are still in the house.
As Jason's looking at this, and you can pull up the graph.
Yeah.
Cavs in the right spot, or the Cavs too high, in line to get into the club.
My
Cavs
problem
too
with this,
high.
I can't have the Cavs and the Bucks in the same
Cavs too high.
category.
I'm just looking at that. Like Charlotte's a mess, Brooklyn's a mess, Chicago's a mess, Detroit's a mess,
Trailblazers
Washington's a
is
mess.
nasty.
Washington's a mess.
Toronto.
I don't think they're a mess.
No.
I don't know enough about Portland to know if they're a mess. Utah, I like their leadership. I like Utah's leadership.
They just got a hodgepodge of players. So it just seems like they got a bunch of
Yeah.
like.
In no man's land with that.
Yeah. Okay, go back to Cavs. So Cavs are
Cavs are in tier 2, in line with Milwaukee and Philly. That's where I had the Cavs.
I think that's fair. Like I said, I would put Milwaukee in the club. I do think the Cavs are in line.
And who's Group 3 again? Let me see Group
Who's
3.
behind them?
Yeah.
These are the teams that got denied from the club.
I
would
feel
not-
like the Cavs are with Sacramento, like in their own group.
I kind of
It's like they're good. They're not quite as good as the teams ahead of them. They're better than the teams behind them.
They got some names.
They have maybe a weird chemistry,
Yeah.
same as Sacramento.
Yeah, like
So good but not good enough? Is that the category you're trying to create?
I think I would put Sacramento and the Cavs in a Group 3 by themselves. For me.
Gee, what do you think?
I would, if you wanted to say they're in the club, but they don't get bottles in VIP sections, like they're at the bottom with the regular people.
They're in like the welfare section of the
yeah.
Gen
club.
Pop?
Yeah, general population. They got wristbands on, and then you look up and they're like, "Oh my God, there's Drake." Yeah, like, yeah, they may, if you want to put them in the club, they're not getting bottles.
I didn't put them in the club. I had them on the outside looking
I
in.
think I like the Cavs better than the Kings.
I do too, for the record.
I think the upside is higher. It's not perfect, but I do think that the upside is higher for the Cavs than the Kings. I really like the King coach. Like, I've never hit that. I think Mike Brown's really good. I think he's really, really good.
The Sixers have never gotten to the Eastern Conference Finals.
Not with Embiid.
I'm telling you, man, Philly's a fraud. They are a total fraud.
I just feel like
Paul George and Embiid are two of the biggest fraud postseason performers there are, and now they're teammates.
I just feel like you can't have the Cavs in the same level with Philly and Milwaukee. I don't think
I would put Milwaukee in the club. I don't like Philly at all.
but they're better than the Cavs.
Are they?
Yeah, I think Joel Embiid, when he's healthy, is unstoppable. He's shown
They have
that.
2 stars. The Cavs have 1, and they've not proven much in the playoffs. They've done more than the Cavs have.
So
You could argue Tyrese Maxey is the 3rd star.
That's true.
And if you're picking players between the three,
Tyrese Maxey's better than anybody on the Cavs besides Donovan.
I was going to say, you
Facts.
can make that argument. You can
Yeah.
make that argument.
Is there even an argument?
I would take Maxey over any
I'm
of the
saying,
3.
who would you defend? Who would be the argument that's better than Maxey?
I
on
mean,
the
they
Cavs?
you could-
People would argue. I would take Maxey.
But
I'm
who
saying-
would argue? Who? What player?
I'm telling you, I agree with you, Bull. I would
No.
take
But I'm
Maxey
saying,
third.
which of the Cavs players would somebody
Oh,
try
I'm sure
to
someone
argue?
would argue for Mobley if they wanted to.
Mobley better than Maxey? Come on.
I am picking Tyrese Maxey.
I hear
I'm
ya.
with you.
and if you take a look at that, if you say who the best 5 players or 4 players on the court,
Yeah.
they got 3 out of 4.
Right.
3 out of the 4 best players
Yeah.
in the series.
I still think they're in the same tier.
Milwaukee's won a championship with
Because
and
of
you
Giannis in his prime,
Yeah.
you've always got a chance, especially in this era of parity.